Hello everybody, and welcome back to day 82 of our Chronological Bible in a Year reading. Yesterday we wrapped up Deuteronomy and had Psalm 91. Today we're starting the book of Joshua. And again, as you know, we read the translation in Hebrew word for the book. So today, or our next book, Joshua, his name in Hebrew is Yehoshua, which translates to Yah is salvation. Amen. Okay, today we have Joshua 1 through 4. Joshua, chapter 1. And it came to be after the death of Moshe, the servant of Yahuwah, that Yahuwah spoke to Yehoshua, son of Nun, the assistant of Moshe, saying, Moshe, my servant, is dead. So now arise, pass over this Yarden, which is the Jordan River, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them and to the children of Israel. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads, I have given you, as I spoke to Moshe. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even as far as the great river, the river Perath, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea toward the going down of the sun, is your border. No man is going to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moshe, so I am with you. I do not fail you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you are to let this people inherit the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, to guard to do according to all the Torah which Moshe my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it right or left, so that you act wisely wherever you go. Do not let this book of the Torah depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you guard to do according to all that is written in it. For then you shall make your way prosperous and act wisely. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, nor be discouraged, for Yahuwah your Elohim is with you wherever you go. And Yehoshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the midst of the camp and command the people, saying, Prepare food for yourselves, for within 3 days you are passing over this Yarden, to go in to possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you to possess. And Yehoshua spoke to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, saying, Remember the word which Moshe, servant of Yahuwah, commanded you, saying, Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you rest, and he shall give you this land. Let your wives, your little ones, and your livestock stay in the land which Moshe gave you beyond the Yarden. But you shall pass before your brothers armed, all your brave fighters, and shall help them, until Yahuwah has given your brothers rest as unto you. So shall they also take possession of the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving them. Then you shall return to the land of your possession, and shall possess that which Moshe the servant of Yahuwah gave you beyond the Yarden toward the rising of the sun. And they answered Yehoshua, saying, All that you have commanded us we do, and wherever you send us we go. According to all that we obeyed Moshe, so we obey you. Only let Yahuwah your Elohim be with you, as he was with Moshe. Whoever rebels against your command and does not obey your words, and all that you command him, is put to death. Only be strong and courageous. Chapter 2. And Yehoshua son of Nun secretly sent out 2 men from Shittim to spy, saying, Go see the land and Jericho. And they went and came to the house of a woman, a whore, and her name was Rahab, and they lie down there. But it was reported to the sovereign of Jericho, saying, See, men from the children of Israel have come here tonight and search out the land. And the sovereign of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, Bring out the men who have come to you, who have entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hid them. So she said, The men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. Then it came to be, as the gate was being shut, when it was dark, that the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, so that you overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof and hidden them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid out on the roof. And the men pursued them by the way to the Yarden, to the fords. And they shut the gate afterwards, as soon as the pursuers had gone out. And before they lie down, she came up to them on the roof. And she said to the men, I know that Yahuwah has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away because of you. For we have heard how Yahuwah dried up the water of the sea of reeds for you when you came out of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, And what you did to the 2 sovereigns of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you put under the ban. And when we heard, our hearts melted and there was no spirit left in anyone because of you. For Yahuwah your Elohim, he is Elohim in the Shamayim, which is the heavens, above and on earth beneath. And now please swear to me by Yahuwah, since I have shown you kindness, that you also show kindness to my father's house, and shall give me a true token, and shall spare my father and my mother, my brothers and my sisters, and all that they have, and shall deliver our lives from death. And the men said to her, Our lives for yours. If you do not expose this matter of ours, then it shall be, when Yahuwah has given us the land, that we shall treat you in kindness and truth. So she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was on the city wall, and she dwelt on the wall. So she said to them, Go to the mountain, lest the pursuers come upon you, and you shall hide there 3 days until the pursuers have returned, and afterwards go on your way. And the men said to her, We are released from this oath of yours which you have made us swear, unless when we come into the land, you bind this line of scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you bring your father, your mother, and your brothers, and all your father's household to your own home. And it shall be that anyone who goes outside the doors of your house into the street, his blood is on his own head, and we are innocent. Anyone who is with you in the house, his blood is on our head if a hand is laid on him. If you expose this matter of ours, then we shall be released from your oath which you made us swear. And she said, Let it be according to your words. And she sent them away, and they went. And she bound the scarlet cord in the window. So they left and came to the mountain, and stayed there 3 days until the pursuers returned. And the pursuers sought them in all the way, but did not find them. Then the 2 men returned and came down from the mountain and passed over. And they came to Yehoshua son of Nun, and related to him all that had befallen them. And they said to Yehoshua, Truly Yahuwah has given all the land into our hands, and also all the inhabitants of the land have melted away before us. Chapter 3. And Yehoshua rose early in the morning, and they departed from Shittim and came to the Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and stayed there before they passed over. And it came to be after 3 days that the officers went into the midst of the camp, and they commanded the people, saying, When you see the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah your Elohim and the Kohanim, which is the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then you shall depart from your place and follow it. Only keep a distance between you and it, about 2,000 amma by measure. Do not come near it, so that you know which way to go, for you have not passed over this way before. And Yehoshua said to the people, Kadosh yourselves, which is to sanctify or set yourselves apart. For tomorrow Yahuwah is doing wonders in your midst. And Yehoshua spoke to the Kohanim, saying, Take up the ark of the covenant and pass over before the people. So they took up the ark of the covenant and went before the people. And Yahuwah said to Yehoshua, This day I begin to make you great before the eyes of all Yisrael, so that they know that I am with you as I was with Moshe. And you command the Kohanim who bear the ark of the covenant, saying, When you come to the edge of the water of the Jordan, stand in the Jordan. And Yehoshua said to the children of Israel, Come near and hear the words of Yahuwah your Elohim. And Yehoshua said, By this you shall know that the living El is in your midst, and that he is certainly driving out from before you the Canaanites and the Hittites, the Hivites and the Perizzites and the Girgashites, and the Amorites and the Jebusites. See, the ark of the covenant of the Adon of all the earth is passing over before you into the Jordan. And the Adon means Lord. And now take for yourselves 12 men from the tribes of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And it shall be as soon as the soles of the feet of the Kohanim who bear the ark of Yahuwah, the Adon of all the earth, come to rest in the waters of the Jordan, that the waters of the Jordan are cut off, the waters that come down from upstream and stand as a heap. And it came to be, when the people departed from their tents to pass over the Jordan, with the Kohanim bearing the ark of the covenant before the people, and as those bearing the ark came to the Jordan, and the feet of the Kohanim bearing the ark dipped in the edge of the water, now the Jordan overflows all its banks during all the time of harvest, that the waters which came down from the upstream stood still, and rose in a heap very far away at Adam, the city that is beside Zarethan. And the waters going down into the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, were completely cut off. And the people passed over opposite Jericho. And the Kohanim bearing the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah stood firm on dry ground in the midst of the Jordan. And all Yisrael passed over on dry ground, until all the nation had completely passed over the Jordan. And chapter 4. And it came to be, when the entire nation had completely passed over the Jordan, that Yahuwah spoke to Yehoshua, saying, Take for yourselves 12 men from the people, 1 man from every tribe, and command them, saying, Take for yourselves 12 stones from here, out of the midst of the Jordan, from the place where the Kohanim's feet stood firm. And you shall bring them with you, and leave them in the camp in which you spend the night. And Yehoshua called the 12 men, whom he had appointed from the children of Israel, 1 man from every tribe. And Yehoshua said to them, Pass over before the ark of Yahuwah your Elohim into the midst of the Jordan. And each one of you take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, so that this shall be a sign in your midst when your children ask in time to come, saying, What do these stones mean to you? Then you shall answer them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah. When it passed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for remembrance to the children of Israel forever. And the children of Israel did so as Yehoshua commanded, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as Yahuwah had spoken to Yehoshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and took them over with them to their camp, and laid them down there. Yehoshua also put up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the Kohanim who bore the ark of the covenant stood, and they are there to this day. And the Kohanim who bore the ark stood in the midst of the Jordan until every matter was finished that Yahuwah had commanded Yehoshua to speak to the people, according to all that Moshe had commanded Yehoshua. And the people hastened and passed over. And it came to be, when all the people had completely passed over, that the ark of Yahuwah and the Kohanim passed over in the presence of the people. And the sons of Reuben, the sons of Gad, half the tribe of Manasseh, passed over armed before the children of Israel, as Moshe had spoken to them. About 40,000 armed ones of the army passed over before Yahuwah for battle, to the desert plains of Jericho. On that day, Yahuwah made Yehoshua great before the eyes of all Israel, and they revered him, as they had revered Moshe all the days of his life. And Yahuwah spoke to Yehoshua, saying, Command the Kohanim, who bear the ark of the witness, and let them come up from the Jordan. And Yehoshua commanded the Kohanim, saying, Come up from the Jordan. And it came to be, when the Kohanim who bore the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah had come from the midst of the Jordan, and the soles of the Kohanim's feet touched the dry land, that the waters of the Jordan returned to their place, and flowed over all its banks as before. And the people came up from the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and they camped at Gilgal on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Yehoshua put up in Gilgal. And he said to the children of Israel, saying, When your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, What are these stones? Then you shall let your children know, saying, Yisrael passed over this Jordan on dry land. For Yahuwah your Elohim dried up the waters of the Jordan before you until you had passed over, as Yahuwah your Elohim did to the sea of reeds, which he dried up before us until we had passed over, so that all the peoples of the earth shall know the hand of Yahuwah, that it is strong, so that you shall revere Yahuwah your Elohim forever. Strong start to Joshua here, but that concludes our reading for today. So thank you for joining us. Hope you're reading along, and peace and blessings and love to you. See you in the next one.